Alright, here we go, live with the Shaman. Let me pull up my happy little Discord people here and unmute the room. Hello to you guys that are in the room. Looks like Cindy popped out. Looks like we got Dave and Clint in Discord. Hello Missy, glad you could join us. We got in text chat, we've got Dave, looks like Missy. Alright, so hey, I just noticed something in the chat area that I had never seen before, and they've started doing anniversary announcements, anniversary follower announcements. Looks like there's a number 2 by Dave's name. Man's been following us for 2 years. How about that? Congratulations, Dave. Alright, little heads up, little reminder. As many of you know, we do simulcast over on discordapps.com. There is a never expiring link in the chat description in the upper right here on Facebook. Our videos are also archived over on YouTube, Pinterest, Tumblr, Flickr, and a boatload more that I can't remember till I click them. Also a reminder update, this is Live with the Shaman. We are an adult channel. We do not worry too much about we don't worry too much about political correctness here, though we are really hard on respect. Is it nighttime where you are? No, not at all. It is 11:02 a.m. on a Sunday morning at the time of this broadcast. That's August 25th, 2019, for those of you watching the pre-recorded broadcast later. Yes, I'm in Texas, up around north central Texas, just outside of Dallas. Cindy's down in Beaumont, and Clint is down in Liberty, down in south central and south eastern Texas. Oh, background looks nice. Well, that's because that was one of our ritual sites. That was our original ritual site and one of our altars for one of our shaman rituals we did, and I just kind of used that as the Live with the Shaman. What? Oh, somebody was going to say something. Alright, Missy, where are you from? Where are you at? Alright, Missy will probably answer us here in just a moment.
She is in Magnolia, Texas.
Ah, Magnolia.
That's above Houston.
Yeah, I know exactly where Magnolia is.
Oh, Missy's in Northwest Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. No, it's Lucy that's in Magnolia, Cindy.
I thought you said Lucy. Oh,
Ah,
well, my mistake.
Ah, well, Akron. Alright, Missy is in Akron. Yeah, Cindy, would you put the non-expiring invite for Discord on the chat, please? Missy, you'll notice we're relatively laid back here in Live with the Shaman. We do try to come up with interesting philosophical shamanic related topics to talk about. We also do Open Pagan Church, where we try to discuss topics that are not path related, but pagan philosophy related. It's kind of one of those different hat type things. Okay, yep, there will be your link.
If you have the sword, come join us.
Yep. And you're welcome to vocally ask questions. Absolutely. We love topic discussion. And as anybody can tell you, I almost never stop talking. So if you have something you want to get in sideways, you have to just, get my attention. Right, okay, so shout out to all of our shamans for one of our family. Granted, Lester's not shaman, but he is family long term. I've known that man, good God, for 25 years, I guess, longer than that. His wife's dad made the passover to the next life. I think he said actually yesterday. So we'll be lighting candles for him, her, and their family in an easy passing. Right. So while everybody's getting lined out, I apologize. My sinuses got a little drainy today. Our topic is the Solitary Shaman. I realize this is 2019, and there are a growing number of solitaire practitioners. More and more solitary practitioners are coming into the different pagan paths as time goes on. A number of practitioners start out in the groups, in some of the witch covens, the druidic groves and shaman groves and what have you. And they end up over time becoming more solitary. Well, why is that? I mean, I know in my experience, the reason people become more and more solitary is because they're not really involved in the group politics, if you will. and really, I don't care what group you're in, folks, there's always politics. Doesn't matter how good the group is, there's always politics. We try real hard in the Grove of the Celtic Shaman to be as light on the politics as we can, but I mean, if we have to do Grove business, we have to do Grove business. But what is the Solitary Shaman? I mean, shamanism actually started out solitary. The ancient ancestors that followed shamanism were solitary. The word shaman doesn't even have anything to do with Native American medicine people. There were medicine men and medicine women. A lot of people are confused in thinking that the word shaman came from the Native American shamans. No, not at all. In the 1930s, the word was brought back from Siberia. I think it was 1930s or late 20s that the word was brought back from Siberia. The word shaman is an actual Siberian term. It was Americanized like everything else. Dave says people become solitary. In my opinion, is people do not accept others for who they are. Well, there is that. There is that. Let's see, Missy says, in my experience, people go solitaire because of some power tripping individuals. I love that.
We know those kind of people, don't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what our topic was in Open Pagan Church this morning. Be the human, not the title. Yes. And herein lies the thing. I think, me personally, I think people learn more in group surroundings. I think people learn more when you're in a group of people and you're listening. The biggest thing I have found, if I go to a group and these people don't know me, I've never been there, and they ask for an introduction, I just tell them, hey, my name's Don. Um, People call me Pegasus. Um, I'm kind of the founder of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman and, you know, Open Pagan Church and House of Pagans. But I'm here to learn. I'm here to listen. Old horse. There's another group. Old horse. What? Cindy?
Another name for you, old horse.
Old horse. Yes. Winged jackass has been harmed one too. Ah, look. Cindy also has an anniversary follower of 3 years on Live with the Shaman. Cindy, do you see that in the chat where there's an anniversary follower tag on you and Dave?
No.
Really?
You're the creator of the group. You should see that.
Oh, well, aren't I?
I don't see it.
Aren't I special?
Yes, you're very, very special.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I mean, some people would say I'm very short but special, but there you go.
Hi, Missy.
Paul said yes. Short bus.
Yep, short bus.
He's listening in here with you today.
Clint sees them. Missy says she could not click into the link.
Huh.
Missy, can you see up in the text area where the description of what we're doing today, there's a link in there?
Well, I was showing the link to the House of Pagans too.
All right.
So you missed it. I'll message George.
Oh, well, that's going to be a hell of a link, isn't it? What the hell? Facebook. Holy shit. Okay. Well, anyway, I digress. Not that I ever digress.
Okay.
Yep, Dave can send it to you. Cindy can send it to you.
I already sent it to her, Dave.
Cindy is real good in Discord, Missy. She can really help you get it set up. I mean, hell, I'm sucking hand tit in Discord. I'm still learning it myself. So, right. So the Solitary Shaman, that's the original shaman. Group shamans were just the original, essentially were really never heard of. A group or grove of shamans is a new idea. And I want to say over the last 20 or 30 years is when I've really started actually learning about the different groves of shamans. And of course the term grove comes from a grove of trees are standing strong together. That's the reason we're kind of called the Grove of the Celtic Shaman. In my opinion, we stand stronger together than we do apart. Cindy's one of the masters of the Grove. Clint's also one of the masters. Dave is absolutely one of the family of the Grove. So let's start with Cindy, the more salted Grove masters, if you would. What has your experience been with solitary shamanism, Cindy?
Well, solitary shaman, it's kind of like that in Beaumont because it's rare I can get to Clint or you. So over here in Beaumont, I practice shamanism, our circle of the grove stuff, but it's kind of like being solitary because there's not another shaman around. But with the Solitary Shaman, we have the grove rules and the deities that we have lined up for all that. But if you want to be solitary, there's belief, spiritual belief rules, but you're solitaire and you do everything by yourself.
Well, yeah, we've got a couple of solitaire people that fall and follow under the Grove of the Celtic Shaman tradition. One of them is she's still relatively active. In fact, she's an apprentice master right now with her tenure, and she's, bless her heart, going through the master trials. But because she's chosen solitaire, now here's the oxymoron: she's chosen solitaire with me as her teacher, and that's okay. I'm fine. You're right. I'm fine with solitaire. I've got no problem with it. But when you take an oath to a tradition, and the tradition is geared for group philosophy, it really makes it hard when you step to that solitaire confinement, if you will.
That's like when we had the solitaire going on for a while because not you, the group kind of disbanded because of personal things, with everything going on. I didn't like it. I felt empty.
Well, yeah, and when we pulled back in '08 to revamp and regroup, it needed to be done. This is why we agreed to revisit the tradition and revisit the group philosophies on a yearly or every other year basis, to kind of say, what are we doing now? What do we need to do that's different? Most especially as we get older. Yeah, I'm set in my ways. I'm 57, but I'm never too old to learn. And see, here's the thing about solitaire of any practitioner. When you become solitaire, and in my opinion, we all know what they say about opinions, if you box yourself off, if you seal yourself off from the rest of the world, yeah, you are. Looks like Stephanie just popped in. Welcome. Dave says 60. Blip, blip, blip. You don't.
Well,
Go ahead.
that's like I have a solitaire witch with me, my other half. He's solitary witch, but he's opened up more because of the Liberty Group and me. We practice together sometimes. It's
Sure.
not solitaire anymore,
I
but he
mean,
is solitaire.
my wife is solitaire fae, and she and I blend our magic together a lot. And she does her thing with her altar, and I do my thing with my altar, and sometimes we do our thing together on a center family altar. But someone that really truly offers solitaire, it's a hard road to hoe, because we've had multiple solitaire practitioners come through the group and the grove through the years. They learn for a bit, they're wonderful people, they move on to become brothers and sisters of the grove. One of our brothers is Sean, one of our sisters is Debbie up in Scotland. And both of those are solitaire. Sean is in Beaumont. Both of those are wonderful solitaire practitioners. Sabrina is a wonderful solitaire practitioner. So I think that as groups become more open, and see, herein lies another part, or another flip of the coin, if you will, to this topic. Groups for years and years have been closed, very tight knit, very closed off from outside society. And they did that not for any other reason, but because of society, they had to. They had no choice but to make their groups closed to any outside involvement whatsoever. And Druidic groves were the same way. The ancient Druids that practiced at Stonehenge quickly became either solitaire or closed off groves as time went on, and mainstream modern day religions started gaining a stronghold and persecuting those who still followed the old way, if you will. Macy says groves in her area are Druid, kind of lean more towards Druid, yeah. ADF. I've heard of the ADF. Don't know much about them, but I've heard of them. Yeah, a lot of your bigger organizations, you start out with an idea, you become a group, then you become an organization, and then you become commercial. And it's kind of the nature of the beast, which is why Open Pagan Church, Grove of the Celtic Shaman, House of Pagans are different groups. We're still groups. Yeah, we're small organizations, but we have no tax status. We're not commercial. I don't ask anybody for any donations, but then again, hell, it's been over 10 years since I've hosted a group ritual. Most have now gone political. Yeah, I mean, and it really does shove people back into the solitaire philosophy. Dave, unless I'm mistaken, you're of the solitaire persuasion, right? Hell, I may have put Dave to sleep. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I forgot I had Discord on. I was trying to type, but it came up, yes, like the group yes, and I had to put the periods on there.
There it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who people think they are, but basically the gods don't give two shits who we are or who we think we are. When who we think we are, they do care who we are inside, but I just get tired of all the superficial bull crap. I don't want to deal with it. That's what you're facing when you go around a group. I'm sorry, but
well, some of your larger groups, and it's like Missy said, the ADF charges for their teaching programs, and I was approached some years ago by one of the old original members of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman that one of their philosophies were we needed to start charging for our meetings, our Grove affiliation, our training purposes. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to. That would be...
it's like, so that would be like if anybody has the money, they could just come and do it. That's just ridiculous.
Sure.
Either you are or you're not.
Sure. And, Open Pagan Church...
But I'm talking about more pagan, more Wiccan. That's all I've ever been around. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about what I've been around. And I don't want to deal with it. And I'm just... I just shake my head.
Oh, absolutely. I get it. And a lot of... looks like Sabrina made it. Hi, Sabrina. Sabrina's our little solitaire. But So, and here's one of the things when you step into group-minded situations, usually there are a boatload now over the last 10 or 15 years where 20 something years ago when the Grove of the Celtic Shaman was founded, um, you just almost couldn't find a Celtic Shaman organization. Now, it's like everything else. They're popping up like weeds everywhere, and most of them are charging. And if you look back through on Facebook and on YouTube of our archives, we have freely given away our training. The open the Open Grove Facebook page, all of that documentation is openly posted there, as well as the tradition. Now, Sabrina says, I am trying to get it together. Well, aren't we all, sweetheart? And Sabrina also has a anniversary 3 year to the follower there. So, solitaire really does have its advantages. And to a degree, there's no practicing group up here in north central Texas, or at least no group that we have found that we could go to and just hang. Everybody wants you to put a buck in the kitty, so to speak, or what are you doing here, and what do you want, and what do you expect from us? And it's like, nothing. I'm here for companionship. I'm here as a visitor, and we went up against, and I say up against, one pagan group at the UU church up here. We went to one of their Samhain festivals, and there's just a whole long drawn out story behind that I'm not even going to get into. That was a bunch of jokesters there. But we almost got into a row with them because they wanted to know who we were, where we were from, what we wanted, what we expected from them, and whether or not we were going to draw them down because they didn't like our energy.
Well, the UU is real. They're real political. They're real. They incorporate politics in what they do.
Well, the UU itself, yes, but this was one of the, quote, open pagan groups that were facilitating the UU. And they claimed to be open, but most everything that they were doing were kind of a conglomerated mixture of Egyptian and Santeria. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? I didn't ask that. We just kind of gathered up our little family and got back in the truck and went up the road and had lunch and had a good laugh. But I mean, at the end of the day, if that's what you want, more power to you, right? I'm not going to sit here and start downing other groups for their ways of thinking. But the thing with the solitary practitioner is, they're, like I said earlier, they're becoming more and more the norm again, because people are sick and tired of the politics. So here's kind of the reason for the formation of some of the newer groups from people that, not just us. There are open groups out there that don't want the politics. They want to learn. They want to share wisdom and philosophies and ideas. And yeah, they're absolutely hard to find. Missy. Well, good point. The UU is open if you agree to their majority, whom are left learned. Yeah. Well, you got a point. I will say though, and I have to defend, not all universal Unitarian churches are that way. The one that we worked with in Beaumont for the longest time, they were some absolutely wonderful people. I mean, I know Cindy can tell you a lot about them because she was around when we were involved in them. When Clint come around was kind of on the downside after they had changed hands and started going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh, the UU down here, they used to have an old building that they left, but they had the awesome circle back there. Anyone can back there, clean it up, use it.
Absolutely. It was in the woods. It was wonderful. It was beautiful, good energy. The leaders of the UU there, maybe not the norm, but see, here's one of the points that I wanted to make to the topic behind the Solitary Shaman. There, the whole point, I think, to the whole thing, and one of the things I looked at just over 10 years ago, back in '08, when we split the sheets for a while. With everybody's like, okay, we need to take a break. The House of Pagans separated for a bit. Grove of the Celtic Shaman separated for a bit, and we said, okay, let's kind of step back, let's pull back, let's regroup. You guys need to get your head screwed on. I need to get my head screwed on, and we need to decide where we're going. In '09, when we started putting it all back together and started rethinking everything, and then it was either 2010 or 2011 when I started doing these broadcasts, or was it 2012? Anyway, we had a better understanding of where we were going. Sabrina says, I've been mostly solitary because of my location. The Grove has been a blessing. Well, thank you for that. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And, location has a lot to do with it. Like I said earlier, where I'm at, here in Princeton, Texas, though people are very acceptive when they find out you're pagan, they still don't get it. They still don't understand the concept. If they ask, I explain. If they don't ask, nice to meet you, have a great day. So, where to from here? What is it? And here's where some of you guys are going to have to talk a little more on what is it about a solitary practitioner that brings people more to it. Any ideas? Don't everybody talk at once.
Well, as a solitary practitioner, you're more on your own, on your learning and your beliefs of what you want to follow. There's no set rules except your own, and they're fluid and dynamic. They can go where they need to at any time.
But
Okay,
go ahead.
this is from my other half, Paul. He didn't like the organization of it, the
organized religion politics.
organized religion politics.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But, and let's look at it from a different standpoint. Okay? Let's take away the organized religion. Let's take away the politics. Is there an advantage or a disadvantage to being a solitary practitioner if you remove the politics, you remove the commercialism, and you make it more about spiritual support, learning, education, and understanding and wisdom? Is there an advantage to solitaire as far as the path goes? I promise your speakers aren't broke. Nobody's typing or talking.
Okay. It could be learn at your own pace. Prefer to have one-on-one connection with the spiritual.
Okay. I get it. Let's see. Missy says advantage is being in your true freedom, not being bound by anyone or group. Okay, I get that. Makes perfect sense. But here's a question, and I'm going to really sound. I'm going to sound naive, though I'm not. I get it. But I'm going to kind of play devil's advocate for just a little bit if I can. If a group of practitioners is run correctly, can you not receive the same thing even if you're bound to a disciplined tradition?
Say that again.
Okay. In response to Missy's comment, and I agree, I get it, but can't you get the same advantage in true freedom even bound to a tradition with discipline, structured education, and learning in a group if it's run correctly? Did I ask that right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, as a group, as long as there's no, yeah, you guys can all, everybody can learn from each other like we do, because we have set rules, but we really don't, because once we get into our own space outside the grove, we still learn at our pace, but when we're in the grove, we also learn.
And that's exactly where I was going to go. Sabrina says when you're part of a group, you get lots of different perspective on things that you have learned.
Right. Like she said, if you're in a group, you can learn from its
The
different. Like,
yeah,
I'm a Celtic shaman with the twist of a witchcraft. You're Celtic shaman to the heart, but you use other ways, other means. Mm-hmm. So we're solitaire, but we're a group, but we're solitaire because we make what works for us works for us.
Well, yeah, and see, here's the thing, and I wasn't trying to call anybody out. Don't get me wrong. I tend to like to play devil's advocate because it makes people think outside of the box. And I myself have misconstrued in earlier years the discipline of a tradition. Being old school the way I am, if I'm in a situation where I am allowed to just absolutely, completely run amok, I will. And I know me. Me personally, I need discipline. I need a path to walk. I need structure for myself. I'm of the mind that if someone gave me $1 million with no structured philosophy of what to do with that $1 million, it'd be gone in a week. But under an oath, under a structure, I seem to have a different mindset. And I tend to hold myself and members to a little bit higher regard, if you will, of honor to that tradition. Now, and I'm not sitting here trying to sell the Grove of the Celtic Shaman. It's not my intention at all. What I'm doing is wanting to look at the different variables and help some of the younger people come along, because we have younger and newer generations that are always watching our videos that they stumble onto.
Boy, do they.
There,
Go ahead, Dave.
no, it's just the way that I've had to learn through the physical world and being taught for years, and having to go through when the gods are teaching you so heavy, and the only structure is, do you have enough intelligence to figure out what they're teaching you, because they don't care, or what they give you. There's no the structure. You have to have enough intelligence to figure out enough structure for yourself to actually stay sane and figure out what the hell you're going through. So it's almost, it's like there's a structure to staying sane when you have to go through that.
Okay, I get it. And agree, absolutely. And it's like Missy says, as a Celt, I've tried going outside the box. The group that she says she was involved in, mixed tradition, no discipline, no tradition, everyone doing their own thing. I might as well have been solitary the whole time. You have an absolute point. Now, herein lies the difference of getting involved in a group, right, that has structured philosophies outside of the group. Open Pagan Church. We are a group of pagans of multiple different traditions and ideas and thoughts and beliefs and paths and ideologies. In Open Pagan Church, we pop off a topic. Somebody gives me a topic, I hope, because I'm running out of things to talk about, if you can believe that. But we keep it in a position of non-path specific, pagan-oriented and society-oriented topics. Now, when I take off that hat as a minister and I put on a hat as a shaman, I'm always a shaman. Even when I'm a minister, I'm still shaman at heart. But I know and I've learned how to come at something from an open spiritual philosophy or from a shaman disciplined philosophy. Absolutely get it. The core of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman is the triad, right? Ours is Great Spirit, God, and Goddess, and you're welcome to check out our group if you want to take a look at that. But our core foundation for Grove of the Celtic Shaman is Great Spirit, God, and Goddess, or Great Spirit, Goddess, and God, depending on what you're calling when. And it goes back to, it really goes back to what you firmly believe. See, says, watered down my tradition for the sake of the group, for the coven, just to have pagan fellowship. And I completely understand that. Missy, you should never have to water down your core belief for anyone. Now, in retrospect, I'll be the first one to say, working in the environment that I do, I have to let a whole bunch of things roll off of my back that I would typically pull somebody's head off over. However, when I step into a grove situation, I am that tradition. I'm a human, right? I'm a human male first. I have no choice in that. But the way I portray that, the way I use that, and the way I utilize that in certain situations is what makes it grove or not. And let me tell you, Cindy and Clint, Sabrina, and Lucy, and a few others will be the first one, even though I'm the founder of the grove, to yank a knot in my ass real quick if I'm starting to sidestep off of that tradition. And we have over time built a respect in the grove to say, you're right, I get it.
But there's times that we're stubborn and you have to call people on it, and they understand that.
Well, absolutely, you got to call shit where shit's due. You know, I mean, this is why we love people being involved like Dave, who has his own way of doing things. Missy, I hope you will continue to join us here and in conversation. Um, you know, I'm loving your energy and some of your insight and thoughts so far. And I mean, if here's the whole nut thing, right? Shamanism is a lifestyle. It is a path, okay. It is a tradition in and of itself. It is essentially its own. I hesitate to say religion because it's not, but it is its own philosophy. Well, then when you take, okay, I'm a shaman, but do I pull more to the Celts? Do I pull more to Native American? Am I more towards the Siberian? Me, I lean really, really heavy to the Celts. Um, the Celts were a warrior people that were very spiritual, and I'm the first one to say, if you jack with my family, I can slit your throat and bless you while you bleed to death. Got no problem with that. But can I walk up and hurt someone or kill someone without just cause? No, don't want that karma. Thank you very much. Understood. And Dave, Dave talks about is what he's learned from the gods. You know, going through a deep, dark place. We've all been there. And I can tell you, and anybody that's ever walked shamanism for any length of time, I know, or I feel like you and Missy and everybody else that's listening to our broadcast that have done shamanism for any length of time, we have all had to walk our darkness. Every one of us has had to walk in the shadows. We've had to be heard but not seen. We've had to be seen and not heard because we're listening. We've had to walk that darkness. We've had to understand that humble. You know, what it is to be shot at, missed, and shit at and hit. What it is to help our clients that come to us and not know how they feel, but understand what they're going through. Jay said, I'm proud I'm still living from the school. Oh boy. Yeah, the shit I pulled when I was in high school. Oh my God. High school, college. Yeah. The chess game. Yeah. That's a good analogy. So, 15 minutes past the hour. Let's let's kind of pull it down. Does anybody else have anything else they want to offer about solitaire? What maybe young people coming in, maybe some advice for them, solitaire versus group. What would you say to a young person coming in and try to be nice, you grumpy old shamans?
I would say do solitaire first and go out in the woods and ask to be taught what's for your life and your life stream and nothing more, and do that for about a year and go out every day or in a park or next to a tree, whatever, and do that and be by yourself and just let them teach you. You're going to get what, they teach in feelings, and just do that for a year. I would do that. Then you have a better way of figuring out if you want to be around a group or not, or if you get around groups, you can take what you need from them, or if you want to be around them, or, you can see a lot more clearly than they can. Basically, if they do that, I would say be solitaire and learn that way first, and then decide.
That makes sense.
Well, much like a seeker comes into us, we have to sit down with them and, talk to them, see if they really want to be in the grove or be a shaman at least. I mean, there's different paths out there. Someone that wants to do solitaire at first, how do they get directed? I know in the spirituality they can do, the gods can do so much, but
You go out and ask to be taught by the elementals, by what, the creator is in every atom of everything, and to be taught and have them teach you and ask
but
them
how
every
do
day and
how
talk
do
to
they
them,
learn about the elementals?
because they teach in feelings. They teach subconsciously. You're going to know a lot of things after you're done with that, and that you can channel up later. People need to learn that way first. That would be the wisest thing to do.
Well, what
I
about
didn't
this?
do that.
What about this? And I agree with you both. And Missy comes up with a good point. Get a trusted mentor. Get someone that, and this is something I never really had growing up when I was trying to figure out what shamanism was all about. I never had anybody I could talk to. I knew what spirit was telling me, and I knew what it felt like, but I had no names for it. I had no philosophy to put with it. I had no guidance without that mentor. And Sabrina says take it slow. I don't believe, and don't absolutely, this is one of the things I've always taught my students. Don't believe everything you read or hear. Take it in stride. I've always told people, my students especially, when I teach you something, when I tell you something, ask questions. Don't just take it at face value. Missy says she's joined women's circles and gained a tremendous network within them. Absolutely. Celtic women are a different breed from Celtic men. However, Celtic shamanism has no male female. See, this is one of the things that many people don't understand. Celtic shamanism has no man woman. We are masculine and feminine. We are androgynous. We embrace both our male and woman, masculine and feminine sides. But when you get right down to it, we've all got the different chromosomes for masculine and feminine. And granted, I'll be the first one to admit, my wife will tell me on occasion, honey, you're being a guy. Yes, dear. So I mean, you guys have really come up with some good points and some really good ideas that I think our listeners should be able to take to heart, at least. Let's see. Always ask why. Yeah, absolutely. I really get what Dave is saying. Go out in the woods if you have woods. And you know, see, here's one of the things. Most people nowadays, bless their heart, a lot of the city dwellers, they don't have woods. They don't have trees. The only trees they might have are the ones that the city allowed to be planted on a sidewalk.
Oh my goodness, Michelle's here.
Michelle. Michelle's where? What Michelle? What are you talking about?
Michelle Eckenbrook. I can never see her name. She's joined.
Ooh! Alright. Hey! But I mean, you know, Missy, thank you for joining. Michelle, sorry you're coming in on the ass end of it, hun. But when you're talking about the solitaire, and you're talking about a group shaman, or a group practitioner, or solitaire practitioner, we're all looking for the same thing. Guidance, understanding, wisdom, a philosophy, and a help as to where we're going and what the hell we're going to do when we get there. We all need help. What are we going to do? What the hell are we supposed to do when we get there? These are things that human beings seek out all the time. Do you find it hugging a tree? Some. Do you find it hugging a person? Some. I always find it listening, sharing thoughts and ideas, philosophies and wisdoms. Think about that. Solitaire is a good thing. Group is a good thing. I think a mixture of both is a better thing. Kind of take it from here. I absolutely want to thank all of you for listening. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, because that's when these videos are done. If you're watching them during the week, absolutely, by all means, enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time right here on Live with a Shaman.